I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic, and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Man, what's going on? What a crazy game we just watched in Hilton Coliseum. Iowa State beats Cincinnati 81-70, a total ref show here today in Hilton Coliseum. The combination of Iowa State shot 30 free throws today, 41 free throws shot in this game. Crazy. 5 technical fouls. Oh, just really a ref show. But Iowa State comes out a tough win for the Cyclones today against a physical Cincinnati team that played really hard. We thought we would get that from them. Jizzle James, really just an absolute dog out there. 25 for Cincinnati. He had 5 threes. He was incredible. Atmosphere today was fantastic. You had drama. You had big plays. Really an intense and fun game. This is why we do it. This is why we love coming to Hilton Coliseum when it's freezing-ass cold out there. Just a fun game. I really enjoyed watching that basketball game today, and I thought TJ's team gritted it out. We'll talk all about all the big performances, and Iowa State still has a turnover problem as you are getting closer to the month of March. But we want to thank our presenting sponsor, Channel Seed, baller sponsor of ours. We love our friends, Channel Seed. Thank you for presenting our show each and every game, pregame, postgame, men's and women's basketball. The women are playing right now. I'm going to let Aiden give us an update on that here in just a little bit. Also want to thank our friends, the Natuzel family from Raymond James Financial. They are financial advisors. Remember them, diehard Cyclone fans, for all of your financial needs in 2025. And also, big time sponsored by our friends at Keen Project Solutions, supporting everything we do here at Cyclone Fanatic. So, again, 81-70 is your final here today, and we'll go through and talk about Iowa State's performance, good and bad. But first of all, you tip your hat to Cincinnati. This is a team that's better than their record. Clearly, they've got high-end talent. Jizzle James is the guy who really carried them today. He ended up fouling out. Like most of Cincinnati's team was in foul trouble at the end of this one. 23 fouls called on Cincinnati, 13 on Iowa State. So I'm sure that Wes Miller was quite frustrated when he got that technical. That one of the worst technicals I've seen in a long time. That was a game. That was like Cincinnati was making everybody nervous in Hilton Coliseum, and then that technical comes. It's a 5-point swing in like 40 seconds. Iowa State's on a 7-0 run in 53 seconds at that point. And just a really bad tee. I don't know how much he had been working on it leading up to that. Tony Padilla, the official who called it, was pretty squirrely today. I don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but he got Keyshawn for that tee at the end of the first half that I thought was bogus too. It's like, should the player be dropping an F-bomb or what? No, but it's also like, God, like how many F-bombs are dropped on a court? And like Iowa State's players, like they are coached not to talk to the officials. And they don't very often. It's like, God, like, I feel like some warnings or something at that point, but whatever. I hate ref shows. But it definitely sparked Iowa State, I thought, when Keyshawn got that. This crowd woke up, and it became angry Hilton, angry Saturday afternoon Hilton very quickly after that Keyshawn Gilbert technical. The end of the first half was great for Iowa State. They go on a little bit of a run there. I thought TJ Otzelberger was really good with how he was working the officiating at the end of that first half. and it paid off because it completely flipped in the second half. As you see often in these iconic home courts like Hilton Coliseum, you start getting calls down the stretch, and Iowa State had a good whistle down the stretch of this basketball game. But most importantly, so when fouls are called, what do you do with it? And Iowa State is 26 of 30 from the free throw line today. Wow. Kurt Jones, 12 of 12 from the free throw line today. He's your leading scorer with 22 points, but again, 12 of those 22 come from the free throw line. So just didn't see Iowa State shooting 30 free throws today, right? The problem for Iowa State now is they had 18 turnovers again. A lot of those were unforced turnovers today. Now, since he plays good defense, they were doing some things to get Iowa State. Iowa State still, even with Milan Momcilovic back, is still not this elite half-court basketball team. That's not what they are built for. But, they're built to be in transition. There's just a lot of unforced stuff that keeps happening, and that has to get cleaned up. We can't just keep talking about it. If Iowa State, like, the goal here, what is the goal? It's to get to a Final Four, right? Like, for me it is. Like, I think this team is capable of it, at least to get to an Elite Eight. Take it a step further than where you've been. Been to 2 Sweet 16s. Feel like this is Otzelberger's best team. They've got to clean up the turnover mess. And I know they're focusing on it. I know this is a thing. It's not like they're just ignoring it. But that was what plagued you today, because you look at the rest of the box score. You dominate this team on the glass. 37-19 Iowa State wins on the glass today. Just a dominating performance. Let's look at bench points. 31-9. Points in the paint. 30-18. Points off turnovers. 20-13. A dominating performance across the board for Iowa State today. You look at just those stats. Yeah, they outshoot you by 4 from 3, but you look at all the stats with the free throws, and you look like Iowa State should have won this game by 20. But the 18 turnovers, and whatever. Like, you still won by 11 against a team that had won 3 in a row. It's probably playing its best basketball of the year. All that stuff is true. They got to clean that up. I know they're working on that. I thought today's game, Josh Jefferson had, I thought, a few brilliant moments in this game where you just look at him and you're just like, the guy's different level. The other guy who I thought played maybe his best game of the year was Chatfield. 6 rebounds in 16 minutes. I'd love to know, and I know they chart this, how many 50-50 balls Brant Chatfield got in 16 minutes of action today. He really set the tone at many times, I thought, for Iowa State today as far as the physicality of that game was playing out early on. I loved Brant's game today. It's great to see him coming along. 2 games in a row now where he's been incredibly active for the Cyclones. He was awesome down in Orlando earlier this week. So really, really good stuff there from Chatfield. Love seeing that. Keyshawn didn't have a great game today, I didn't think. Maybe one of his top 2 or 3 games of the year. Definitely at Central Florida. On Tuesday, he comes back with 5 turnovers. Just kind of felt like he was kind of frustrated early in that game. Things weren't going well for him. But just honestly, like, Iowa State's defense on Jizzle James, probably one of those deals you need to go back and watch it. But I thought that they weren't bad on him. I thought he was just really elusive, and Cincinnati had some great stuff drawn up to get him loose. Especially in that first half, I didn't feel like they were bad on him. He made some really tough shots. I don't know. But Keyshawn's, it is a trend where he's just turning it over too much. You don't bench him. You don't do anything like that. He's still an absolute dog you got to have out there. I thought that technical on him was garbage. I hate that. Like, if this is high school, yeah, don't mouth off to the ref. You shouldn't mouth off to the ref, but they don't do it very often. There's got to be some, leeway here. You've seen so much more than that crap. I hate ref shows. I'm sorry. I can't get over it. It drove me nuts. I was pretty hot at halftime. I had to go into the back. But anyways, listen. The part of it with Keyshawn too, it's that you don't want to take his game away from him, because a lot of the stuff that he does so well, I don't want to take that away from him, because he's a downhill player. He attacks, does all that great stuff, and we want him to keep doing that, because that's what makes him great when he's great. You just got to rein it in just a little bit. they'll keep working on it. This is still, but the reality is, it's like if they're going to get to a Final Four, do all this stuff, they've got to cut that back, because what used to be Iowa State's advantage was the turnover thing. They'll turn you over, and then they're turning it over 7-8 times a game. Well, now they're turning you over, but you're turning it over equal to, if not more, and it works today. But if you get Auburn in the Elite Eight or whatever, like that's what you're looking at. That stuff's just got to be cleaned up. But I love this though, because you're sitting here and I'm nitpicking an 11-point win against a good team. Like that, like what I just saw from Cincinnati in person. This won't be counted as good of a win as the Central Florida game. That's a better team than UCF, in my mind. Like, this is a better win today, I think. It's a man. Well, like, the thing is, and I completely agree with what Ryan just said in the chat. I'm just kind of looking at the chat right now. You had 81 points with 18 turnovers. Like, that's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. So, like, if you can just cut it down a little bit, that's what's going to make Iowa State, like, a great team, because I think they're already there. Like, that's what I would – they're like a Tier 2 team right now in college basketball. I think you've got Auburn, Duke, maybe Alabama. We'll see how that goes. Like, right, like there's just a little tier where I think where Iowa State was early on, they're almost there. They're getting back to it. But that's what will be that step up. And I love the fact that you can sit here and talk about this this team in the sense of like, yeah, you won a great game today, an intense game, tough game, and this is how you can even get better. And that's what's fun about this. I thought Otzelberger's message on Thursday to the media was very calculated. He loves this team. He loves this team. You know, and this is why I think fans and media, you always have to remember in the back of your mind that we don't see that much of all this stuff that goes on. We get to see 40 minutes twice a week. We don't see any of the practice. We don't see any of the team meetings. We don't see any of the workouts. This is why you don't just bench a guy like Brant Chatfield because he has a few bad games. Because you brought him in to be your enforcer like he was today. He helped you win that basketball game today, right? That's why you didn't do that with, Nate Heisey wasn't hitting shots there for a while, but I draw direct parallels to the win over Marquette and the win at Iowa to what Nate Heisey did. Like, all these guys, it's cool, like, to see what Jones does coming off the bench, just being totally selfless each and every week. Lipsy playing with the broken hand. Like, this is a special group. And, man, like, they're not even – and they're still building up. And that's what I love about Iowa State going into the month of March. So just a fun game today. I thoroughly enjoyed today's basketball game. Like, I felt really blessed to be sitting here watching it. It was cool. And I get to sit right under the basket by the opposing team's bench. It's my favorite. So I get to watch them, like, really go at it and stuff. And today was a physical basketball game. Pretty freaking awesome. So there you have it. What is Iowa State now? Let me pull up the old Kim Palm and see if they adjusted it today. Yes, they just did.
Iowa State women up 17, by the way.
Wow.
While you pull that up.
Iowa State women up 17.
Taking care of business down in Lawrence today.
All right. Freaking love it. Absolutely. Freaking awesome. Kim Palm did just get updated. Let's go to that. Iowa State actually dropped a spot from 7 to 8, but that's probably due to something else that happened in the country. I can't imagine metrics are going to change much because Iowa State was like an 11, 12-point favorite, and hey, they just won their 20th game. Remember when that was like a huge deal in basketball when you could get 20 wins? So Iowa State now 10-4 in the Big 12. The worst team in the league coming to town on Tuesday, and that would be Colorado. Colorado just got its first win, though. I predicted that one. I feel smart. That was a easy. Central Florida is a mess. They have now dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. UCF has. They're done. Stick a fork in them.
Texas Tech won by like 40 today. So
really,
I think they probably got
They got a big
a little
jump then.
bump. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look at that. Yeah, that's what. You're right, Aiden. Good call. It was Texas Tech that jumped Iowa State. And what's crazy about it, it's like you want to outperform what the computer thinks you're going to do. And Iowa State was like right on that line today is how this works. So that's why they're just not going to move much. Yeah, good stuff. Just a good day. Just solid day. Nothing fancy. Hit your free throws. Rebound the basketball. Clean up the turnovers, and you're going to go from that really good to elite group. And they can do it. And I'd always rather have the opportunity to peak in March, in late February, than peaking in late November. And that's where they've got this team setting up right now. Everything got jacked around when Milan got hurt, but you can see it. It's gelling. They're together, and they played a really physical team today. And I would take that Cincinnati team over the UCF team we just watched any day. And quite frankly, the UCF game was quad one. I could see that dropping out pretty quickly. Still is one, but barely. By one spot. So that'll probably be a quad two win here before too long. Iowa is still hanging on there. They play again tomorrow against a pretty good Maryland team. Iowa should hang on, I would think, to be a quad one unless they completely lose out or anything like that. And then next Saturday, a week from today, baby, Iowa State at Houston. Houston goes on the road today and wins at Arizona. College game day will be there next weekend at Houston. So take care of business on Tuesday. Who does Houston have? Arizona State. So they got a road game at Arizona State on Tuesday night. A little bit tricky as they're doing their little Arizona swing that Iowa State just got done with a few weeks ago. So I'm almost like part of me just wants Houston to win that game because I want next Saturday to be as big of a game as possible for the Cyclones and to be able to really make some noise. So good stuff today. I'm never going to complain about an 11-point win. That was fun. You were entertained if you came to today's game, if you got to watch it on TV. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsor, Channel Seed, and our buddies from Channel Seed. Also our friends at Keene Project Solutions and the Natuzel family with Raymond James. It'll be an early Williams and Bloom tomorrow. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, so I'll be doing some celebrating with the family. And it's the Daytona 500, baby! I'm going to throw the green flag. So we're going to do, I hope Bloom will meet me in the middle here, and we're going to try and record in the morning and get that over with. And then let's get back at it. Women are going to close this thing out in Kansas. Going to be another undefeated Saturday for the Cyclones. Big wrestling win last night. Good times, folks. Good times. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. And we'll be back with Williams and Bloom on Sunday.